What's up, guys? Theo here, coming to you with a breakdown for Marcus McGhee versus Gaston Bolanos. So Marcus McGhee is a minus 290 favorite. He is a powerful striker with good distance management and lateral movement, fighting out of the MMA lab. This guy has 2 UFC wins already against JP Buys and Journey Newsom, who are 2 fairly low-level UFC fighters, but to be fair, Marcus McGhee has looked very good against them. Striking looked great. He looked explosive. He looked light on the feet, and he just looked like a threat. The only time that he really has not looked great in the UFC is when he gets taken down. I don't think he has the best grappling. Even though he's training at the MMA lab, and I know they're all about modern, well-rounded MMA styles there, he seems to just get taken down very easily, and that is where his one loss came on the regional scene. Before he got into the UFC, he got submitted by a guy that he also looked great on the feet against. So I think that's kind of Marcus McGhee's weakness. Other than that, I think on the feet, he's very good, very measured, powerful, and you take him in a fist fight against just about anybody who's not going to take him down and wrestle him or try to submit him, that is. And he's going up against Gaston Bolanos, and Gaston Bolanos is a very accomplished striker in his own right. He actually, at one point in time, I don't know if it's still the case, but he was competing in 3 combat sports at the same time. He was competing in MMA, he was competing in kickboxing, and he's competing in Muay Thai. And he has a better Muay Thai and kickboxing record than he does an MMA record. His MMA record's not great, but that's because he's coming in with a wealth of a history in Muay Thai and kickboxing. And as such, his striking is very, very dangerous. The problem with him is that he kind of tends to do Muay Thai and kickboxing striking inside the UFC octagon, which is not usually a successful strategy, especially against somebody who has been trained in MMA and trained how to strike in an MMA cage. So with Gaston, what you see is you see a lot of great combinations, great leg kicks, but he doesn't ever string things together enough to really get through to his opponents that he really should be knocking out. And he ends up kind of losing because he doesn't have enough volume with his striking, even though his striking is very dangerous. And Gaston Bolanos is a guy that he has good submission defense and takedown defense, but Gaston is not going to be trying to take Marcus McGhee down here. Gaston's not the guy that's going to be trying to exploit Marcus McGhee's takedown defense weakness. I'm sure Gaston knows jiu-jitsu, but when you watch him fight, Gaston Bolanos is not trying to go to the ground. He's trying desperately to get up every time he gets taken to the ground against the opponent that he did fight that's in the UFC already. The guy was completely outmatched on the feet and tried to take him down, and he managed to get up every time. So Gaston, you're not going to catch him trying to take Marcus McGhee down and wrestle him. I don't think Marcus McGhee is going to try to take Gaston down unless he gets in trouble on the feet. I think Marcus McGhee is going to engage him and is going to strike with him. And personally, I will take the really strong, powerful read that I've got on Marcus McGhee right now, who is obviously a very hyped prospect. When you watch this guy fight, you get the sense that people know more about him than the commentators are really letting on. So I feel like he is probably the favorite for a good reason. I feel like people know more about this guy probably in his scene than we do on the UFC level. And he's training with Sean O'Malley at MMA Lab. I mean, he's training with good people. So I will take him in what I think is going to be primarily a fist fight. I know it seems crazy to take the MMA striker against the triple combat sport athlete who's Muay Thai and kickboxing guy. But I just personally think that I have seen Marcus McGhee implement his striking advantage a little bit better than I've seen Gaston implement his. And I don't trust Gaston to try and exploit Marcus McGhee's weaknesses because I don't think Gaston has an edge on the ground, at least not from what I've seen. So in this spot, I think I'm going to take Marcus McGhee. Honestly, I do personally believe there is a little bit of value on Gaston Bolanos. But when I'm eyeballing it, I think it's a bad matchup for kind of both of them. I don't really think that it's a great matchup for Marcus either. But I just trust Marcus to win a fist fight over Gaston based on what we have seen of them in the UFC so far. So even though I think the price is a little steep, I do think there's value on Gaston Bolanos. I will not be picking him. I'm not going to be betting on him. I will pick Marcus McGhee to win this. Yeah. Keep it locked in, guys. Stay tuned in for more picks later this week.